Cool. Okay. So just for everybody that's going to be watching this on YouTube, what Sebastian and I are going to be going through is a market analysis. So Sebastian is looking to purchase a home down in Atlanta or around Atlanta. Just looking to break even. It's a second home. He lives part-time in Atlanta, part-time in another place. And so what he's asked me to do is figure out where he can find the most profitable locations for short-term rentals in the Atlanta general area. So I've done a couple of reports for Sebastian, and we're going to go through them. He has not seen any of this data yet. I've prepared some information behind the scenes, but we're going to be doing a lot of work together right now as well. And then we're going to go from there. So stick around. You can see everything you need to see, but let's get into it, Sebastian. Appreciate you letting me put this on YouTube as well. Always appreciate it. Thank you. So cool. Okay. I think one of the main things that's interesting about your situation is that you said that you wanted to, just be able to break even on your home. That was sort of, not that you want to not make money on it, but like, as long as all of the expenses are covered, that's sort of one of the main things.
Yeah, that's kind of like our minimum expectation, but of course, this would be our first Airbnb, and we'd love the experience to be so good that we'll love to keep buying more properties, and that's because we're making money. So
of course. Okay, good to know. So another factor that you were considering is the fact that you need, I think it was 300 to 350,000 that you're looking to spend on a home. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, kind of limited to the down payment, which is 30% as a Canadian investor. If I was American, it would be a different story.
Right. Yep. I'm Canadian as well, so I feel you on that. So it's 30% down, which I have in here. So there's one property that I was looking at just so you can get an idea of the monthly expense. I'm sure you've done this, but for about a $306,000 home with 30% down, 3.8% interest rate, 30-year term, property taxes around 3,600, PMI would actually be 0, which doesn't change it very much. And then the insurance is the last part here. I have around 1,500. That brings your monthly payment to about 1,400. Right, so mortgage and insurance, right? Mortgage, taxes, insurance, around 1,400. So the fact that this is 1,400 and that you're going to be managing the home yourself, right? You're not going to be paying a property management company or anything like that. Your expenses are really low, right? Which is nice and convenient. So here's an example, a breakdown of all of your expenses that you can expect as an Airbnb, right? You're going to have your property management, or sorry, your mortgage, PMI, HOA, insurance, property taxes. Then you're going to have a cleaner, and I've estimated that the cleaning is going to cost you about $150 per turnover, and you're going to have about 6 different groups in every single month. Okay, that's about the average, 6 to 8. 6 is more normal. Anyway, so then your gas, I have around 150, electric around 150, internet at 100, maintenance 100, amenities. So this is like your consumables, soap, shampoos, toilet paper, stuff like that. That's going to be about 100. I did put somebody down for lawn because for the most part, there's lawns in Atlanta. And you also said that you didn't want to be in a condominium or a townhouse, right? So you actually want like a house. So, you'll be able to manage everything from a distance. Your cleaner will be able to take care of most things, but you might need somebody to cut the lawn, right? So $100 is probably overestimating it, but trim bushes, all that stuff as well. We've got it in there. So in total, if you just want to break even, all you need to do is make 36,000, right? Which is very achievable in Atlanta. Very achievable. So let's take a look at the Atlanta report. So I'm not going to go too deep.
And John, I'm not necessarily want to do 100% homes. If there are any condos or apartments that are eligible for Airbnb, I know that it's in Atlanta right now, there's a lot of HOAs that prohibits Airbnb. So that's probably why I say the standalone home. But if there are certain properties that would fit the, good income, good revenue, I'm open for those properties as well.
Okay, that's a really good point. The condominiums most likely are going to deny it, like majority of them. So it'd probably be best just to plan to not go for those ones. But it doesn't hurt to send them an email and say, hey, do you guys allow short-term rentals, right?
Yeah.
So before I actually get into Atlanta or the Lawrence or Duluth, any of those areas, what I want to actually do is just kind of go through the real estate in Atlanta and look at the prices. And I need a little bit of your help here, actually understanding everything, because so this is a part of it. Another reason for why I like doing the consulting calls after these reports is because I don't have local knowledge. And I'm just looking at everything from maps, right? And so the reason why I need some of your, like, your help or guidance here is a couple things. So first off, from this report, some of the top areas that I'm seeing are to the right of Atlanta to the right of downtown seems to do really well. This home park area seems to do really well also. But when I looked up these areas, there were no homes available in your price range, right? So I have a setting right now asking for homes that are 350,000 but I'm looking at only 3 bedrooms. But if I were to go, 3+ bedrooms, there still is nothing that shows up in this side, right?
At that price point. Okay.
At that price point. And then if I were to go way up here, because Atlanta goes way up, all of these ones that do pop up here are condominiums.
At what price point do you see some units that could make sense, even if it's not at 350, even if it's a little bit north of that?
So I haven't increased it over 350. So I don't know, because I didn't do that. I could do that in a second, but before I go into that, when I went down below Atlanta in this sort of area, it seemed like the homes are fairly nice. Let me show you what I'm looking at. They're fairly nice. Like, they're not, so this is what they look like here. Okay. And then if I were to go to the left Atlanta, this sort of area, the homes will look a lot worse, like significantly worse. So this is sort of where I don't have the local knowledge, but you can very clearly see, like, this one's got boarded up windows. And if I were to go through all the other homes in that area as well, they look generally the same, right? So I'm assuming you're not moving over here.
Yeah, and definitely not.
Yeah. And so, there's this sort of spot here that seems pretty interesting.
And I think that's probably because it's closer to the airport that it may do good on, maybe because the airport is south of downtown.
Right. Well, when you say do well, are you talking about like the revenue, or are you just saying the way the home looks?
Oh yeah, sorry. I was thinking that you were saying that those were areas where you identified as of being a good revenue generating Airbnbs.
So no, it was just more so that the homes looked fairly decent. Yeah. So as you can see, it's really only this side of Atlanta where the homes are at the right price range. And so I was kind of wondering, like, what is going on over here, right? Like what is it like over here? What are your thoughts in these areas? Stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think that I would go down that way.
Okay.
I think that I would probably work harder to get more down payment. Gotcha. So that I can qualify for a little bit bigger home.
Okay, so
or more expensive home.
Yeah. So the other thing is that you had me look at Lawrenceville and Duluth. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously there's not as many homes there, but when we look at the data, okay, this is Lawrenceville, and the darker green means that there are over 5 listings in that area, right? And if I were to change this from average to count, you can see there's 5 Airbnb listings that are 4 bedrooms in this zip code of Lawrenceville. Does that make sense? Sorry, I didn't explain how this all works, but on the left-hand side, we have the zip codes. Up top, we have the unit sizes, and where they connect is the piece of data we're looking at. So right now it's the number of listings. And I'm going to change that to average right here. And when it's changed to average, you see what the average annual revenue is for all of those listings in that spot, right?
Okay.
So I saw the 47,000, thought that was pretty like interesting to look into a little bit more. And so these are those listings that are 4 bedrooms in that zip code, and they are all right here, right? And what you can see is that you have one doing 44, one doing 40,000, 42, 66, and 43. Okay. Now, once again, when I went through your information, you only need to make $36,000 to sort of break even. And if I were to, so then in my mind, I'm going with these numbers here, you're probably gonna be around the 40 to 45,000. This one sort of sticks out on its own, but I've opened up these listings and we can look at them, right? Let me just make sure I want to get rid of this one. So this one is making 40,000. Give you an idea of what it looks like. It's nothing special. It's honestly not a great Airbnb listing, like really bad photos, but it's designed well. Like the photos are done pretty well, but it's not anything special. But it's kind of what you'd expect from a non-main city area. To be honest, there's not as much competition out there, but there's not as much revenue being made either. So you get a general idea. Then this one here is making 42. We can take a quick look at it. Let's get a feel for it. Fairly nice home. Also, it's also a townhouse. Great kitchen, bad photos, all that stuff. And then this one's doing 66. Let me just double check on that. Yeah, Lawrenceville is doing 66. When I say this is doing 66, I don't know exactly why this one is doing so much better than the other ones. Like 20,000 more is a lot more for an area that doesn't have that much revenue coming in the first place, right? Like 30% higher than the other ones. But it is a very clean listing. These are better photos than the last one. It's kind of plain, a little boring, but at the same time, like it technically is better. But I wouldn't say it's $20,000 better. Actually, maybe that's the reason right there. All of those rooms or all those beds, maybe it just sleeps way more people. So anyways, this gives you a general idea of what the house looks like, right?
Okay. And can you show me the location just to see if I can
Yeah.
tell why?
Yeah. So the location, are you saying the location for this home here?
Yeah.
Yep. So if I scroll down, it's right here.
Uh,
So you got Lawrenceville right there.
yeah. Zoom in. Yes. Yes. I think that's right by my in-laws. Like
Is it?
super close. Yeah.
Cool. So interesting thing about this neighborhood. So just to give you some reference here, I'll zoom back. This is Lawrenceville. Okay, so the maps aren't the exact same, so it's a little bit confusing to navigate at the beginning. But if you look here on the AirDNA map, oh no, sorry, look at the Airbnb map. When I scroll out, the downtown area is gray, whereas the suburbs are green, right? So it makes it really easy to see. But if you follow the highways, it's the best way to compare maps, right? So all 3 of these homes that we're looking at are in between this highway and this highway. They're in this general region, right?
Yeah.
So if I come over here, let's remove the boundaries. So this is that one side of the highway, and this is the other side of the highway.
Yeah. Very familiar.
Perfect. Okay. So what I found was this home, which is very close to the one making 66. I believe this is the home. Yep. So this is the home. It's a single family home. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath for $305,000. Very cheap, and it looks beautiful. Unfortunately, there's no other photos, but maybe I can find them on a different site. But with that home, that was the home that I did this whole mortgage calculation based off of, right?
Okay.
And that's what the mortgage would come out to. And then I also did the sorry, I gotta move this. I did this. I had all those details in there, and that comes up to 36. So even on that home there's potential to make about $13,000 of profit if you were to make 49,000, right? I think if you were to dress the listing up properly, you could make 49,000 and more than these first 2. just because the photos are not very well taken and there's not much going on in the rooms and stuff like that. Like these are really bad photos. But you can see that this one makes almost $20,000 more, and all they really did was take some better photos because their furnishings isn't that much better than these ones, right? So with some proper management, proper listing, proper marketing, I think that could happen. But that's the home there. Let's see if we can get, I'm just trying to see if we can find more photos so we can take a look at the inside, but it doesn't seem to be happening. Maybe you could reach, you can always reach out to
my
person
agent.
to figure that out. Yeah. But the idea of what I'm trying to get at here is that Lawrenceville seems to be bringing in more money, or seems to be bringing in enough money to match the home that type that you want, right? And within the budget that you're looking for, and it's right beside your family, right? So it's like literally a win-win all the way across. So that was a super interesting find. And the process that I took for doing that, right, was just simply looking at this sheet here and finding the largest number with the best data, which is this number here, and then investigating it a little bit further to take a look at what those homes looked like. And I do that just by simply opening the listing links at the back here, right? Because, and the reason I'm explaining this to you is because I'm giving you the reports, I'm giving you like guidance, my sort of recommendation. We're still going to keep walking through and sort of trying to figure this out. But once the call's over, you're going to have to do some of the legwork yourself, right? And so the most important things here is to be able to go into this number, right? And the way to do that is to right click and go show details. Okay, and that's going to pop open a brand new tab with all of those listings in that area. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
Okay. And then when you're in here, normally what I would do is I like to organize this from highest to lowest, right? So now you're looking at them organized from who's doing the best to who's doing the worst. And then, however, this right here is the best thing that you can see, that you can find, where you have a group of homes all making roughly about the exact same amount. Now, this listing here didn't open up for some reason. There could be a bunch of different reasons of why that could be. The landlord took down the listing for, paused it for a minute or had some sort of issue or whatever it may be, but they can do that, and it happens very often, so the listing doesn't open up. So
is that why it's in red?
That's why it's in red, yeah.
Okay.
And then
yellow, is that kind of the average?
No, yellow is one that I don't feel certain about, but it still opened up. So there was something about the listing itself, that made me feel like the data or the numbers weren't correct. So I didn't count it in my information. And I think it was mainly just because it had 14 reviews, which is, I like to see like 15 to 20 listing reviews. So I felt like 14 wasn't enough. I also felt like the home quality didn't match the other homes. And so it didn't really make sense to me that it was making about the same. I mean, it's not terribly far off, but it's mainly the reviews is what made me worried about it. Worried about this data. Either way,
Okay.
there's still 3 other homes that have good data in this area, and that's enough to make me feel comfortable and confident with this spot. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so you have the most important things here, once again, is the revenue, and then the listing links, right? And so you can go into here, confirm that these make sense, and then take a look at what they're doing right and figure out why that may be, and then try and match that up to a home that might be available.
Okay.
Right? Okay, and then within this same range, there's more homes. There's quite a few other homes that are all meet that same sort of price that you're looking at, and these are just the 4 bedrooms, right? Which the reason we're only looking at the 4 bedrooms is because all these homes are 4 bedrooms that are making this amount, right? Now, one thing I actually haven't tested out is how well are the 3 bedrooms doing, because I can see it says 3,500 on average, but there are 6 listings, so maybe there's some doing better. There's going to be some doing better and some doing worse. So I'm going to click into this. So now it's created its own tab here at the bottom. I'm going to come over here and actually organize this from highest to lowest, because what I can see right away is you have 3 homes making around that $40,000 range, right? And they're 3 bedrooms. Whereas over here we have four homes make around that $40,000 range, and they're 4 bedrooms. So we have to confirm that that data is correct, but now that allows you to also look at 3 bedrooms, which are most likely going to be cheaper. Well, not that one, but some of them are going to be cheaper, right? We can already see that this is a 330 and a 332. So now let's vet this data. And to vet it, it's just a matter of coming in here and opening these listings up. So I'm actually going to close these ones down because we've already seen them. Do you have any questions on this process I'm taking right now?
No. I'll ask you some questions about well later if money wasn't an issue. If the budget, if my budget was higher, will you still recommend Lawrenceville, or should we look at other areas in Atlanta?
Okay, I'll tell you the answer right off the bat is if Lawrenceville, like if Lawrenceville and budget was an issue and you were just trying to make the most amount of money, I wouldn't recommend coming here, right? The only reason I'm recommending this is because it's near family, is the type of home that you're looking for in the price range that you're looking for, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of like, to me, that's perfect. But if you're like, I can spend more and I'd rather cash flow more, then that's a different avenue that we're taking.
Yeah. And the reason why I ask is because, like I said, right now I'm a little bit limited for the type of loan that I am at this point eligible for.
Yep.
But there are some alternatives. If, for example, some of my family members down there co-sign with me, and then the down payment isn't 30%, but 20% or 15%, then the ability to buy a more expensive home would be there.
Doubles. Yeah, doubles overnight. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So let's finish up reviewing this, just to take a look at another area.
Yep.
And then from there, what we can do is take a look at what the other way that you go about it, right? And we'll just double the number to like 700,000, because that's literally what it would work out to be. So, okay, so we have 3 homes that have opened up in a row, but one of them looks wrong. I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, and I'm going to say this before we even get there. I'm going to assume that these 3 are going to look very similar and these 3 are going to look very similar. Okay, because they're in a sort of price grouping, and same with these ones. So before actually even looking at them, I'm just making that statement. By the way the listing looks, the house looks, everything, that's generally what happens. And that's what data is all about, right? Data is about seeing a trend in the quality of the homes and the way things are being done. That allows you to know how much you can expect to make, right? So this is perfect, exactly what I'm saying, right? This one is making the least amount out of all of them by quite a bit. And I can tell you right now that this isn't the most presentable or most beautiful home in the entire world. And then to have 4 photos of one bed, not even the bedroom, just the bed as the 4 main photos, makes literally no sense whatsoever. That's absolutely terrible marketing, as you know, and that's why it's making the worst out of all of them, right? So yeah. Super easy to see why a home is making less than another home. And then you come to this home, right, which is the one that's making the most, and this is what it looks like. Even this, like the fact that they have a photo of the door and part of the bathroom wall, both terrible things. And they also have a night photo. These aren't even great, you know what I mean? Like, in other words, your competition is easy to beat, let's put it that way, right?
Yeah.
So this is the very first home. You can see it is pretty well done. I don't know why they have these photos in there, but that is a nice living room. It is well put together. Pretty decent kitchen. It seems like they're going from like really good photos to really bad photos. There must be some sort of reason behind that. But once again, it's not an amazing listing by any means. So in other words, you could do much better really easily, and odds are you're going to make more money. If I had this exact same home and I was marketing it, it would make easily about $5,000 to $10,000 more. I can guarantee that, right? So that's that home here. Now this one I'm a little iffy about. It says it's making 78,000, but the listing just looks really bad. Photos wise, design wise. So for it to be making that amount doesn't really make sense to me. That's why I've marked it as yellow. But it has everything that a listing would have. That's a nice backyard, actually.
Could it be because of location once again? Like,
yeah, it could be. It also has had 78 reviews and 4.82. So it's got a bunch of really good reviews that are selling it for it. Right? Everyone always checks the reviews. So if they see a lot of good reviews, they can book it over.
That's very close to the arena.
Is it?
Very close. Yeah. The arena is right there where you see
Sorry,
those icons.
right here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, mind you, most all these homes are going to be in that general area too, though. But maybe there's one that's closer to it than another. Yeah, like this one's closer to the city, whereas that one's closer to the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, that definitely could be making a difference, and location does matter. Now, this one I'm actually interested in because I think they have great photos right off the bat. So I'm curious why this one is making less than the other one.
Is it time in the market?
Like that's
Maybe.
it has to do with location.
Yeah.
It's definitely a smaller home, I feel like.
It looks very nice from the inside, not as nice from the outside, perhaps.
Sort of. I mean, it kind of did have that nice. Yeah, so look at this one's way. So the one was right here, the other one was right here, and this one's way up over here.
Yeah.
This would be a less desirable, more remote area. So in other words, if you're coming to Lawrenceville or something, you're actually going to be pretty far away. So even though it's a nicer listing, the location is definitely hurting it. But that's I'm not even from that area, and that's just easy to tell. If you're telling me there's an arena here in a city here, and one was right there and one's right there, then that one's going to be doing less just due to location. Which means when you're looking for a home and you're looking at this map and you see everything, these ones over here are probably going to make you less money than if you were to be right around here or right over here.
Yeah.
Right. All right, let's just keep. So now this is the one that's making 36,000, I believe it is 32,000. So a big drop there. And I feel like I can feel like I can instantly tell, but it has 240 reviews, which is a lot of reviews. Old kitchen, not the best photos. I mean, you can see the quality of this listing come way drop, right? Like that's fairly easy to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see with the revenue how the revenue has dropped as well because of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll take a look at the location once again. Similar sort of spot to the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too far off. This one's pretty nice. Good first photo at least. It's not I wouldn't say this is like a god awful listing or photo or anything, but it's not good in any manner anyways. Also, location wise, pretty close to the city. So this one would be very comparable with this one. No, this first one. This first one looks like this. This one looks like that. It's not a huge difference between these two.
And which one is this one making?
This one's making 29,000. The other one was making 44,000. Oh, but this
Do you think that the half a bathroom difference is making a difference?
No.
No.
This one's only been on for 269 days. There's actually 100 days of revenue missing from that 29,000 number. Whereas this one, there's only 30 days or 40 days missing from this number here. So there's a 2-month revenue difference between these two. So this one's probably going to end up closer to around the like 35,000 range at the end of the year, whereas this one's going to be around the 40. Yes, it's the next month. So yeah, this one will probably be around like 46. And this one will be around 35. Well, $10,000 difference. Hard to say really quickly what's making the difference between these two, but these are bad photos. They're very dark and it's fairly ugly in comparison to this one that's nice big home. So that could be the difference. And then we've already looked at that one. No, I'm kind of going into the weeds with this on you for this one with you right now. Trying to, and like, I'm just speaking from exactly what I'm seeing as I'm going through, and I apologize, it's probably really boring, but it's like, it's the nitty gritty details of everything that we're looking at to try and understand how much money is actually being made and what you would need to do to be able to qualify for a home in that area. So the way I'm seeing this is that if I were you and I was in this area, I would be looking at, right around this general area or this general area for a 3-bedroom, and using all of these homes up here as a way to qualify exactly what the home should look like, right? Now, I think all of these are bad listings. Like across the board, there's not one that sort of stands out as really good, except for maybe this one here is pretty well done. But you could do a lot better, right? Somebody who's more knowledgeable, like understands marketing, understands how to put things together, you could do significantly better, and that's going to drive your revenue, which makes me feel confident to be able to say to you that you could make $40,000 no issue within that general area if you were to buy one of these homes. And if you were to do that, we've already know that you're actually going to cash flow slightly off of that. It'll be roughly around 4,000 that you would cash flow, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's the general idea of what I wanted to get across. Do you have any questions on that?
No, I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay. Now in the Duluth area, I won't go too into it, but there's you can see everything is marked as light gray or light green because there's not a lot of listings in this area. Right? There's very few. So you'd be taking the exact same process that I've already gone through. I'm not going to go through it again with you on this, but it might be worth it to take a look at it just because some of these are, I actually already have it.
But it seems that this area, even though there are a lot less, they are making a lot more.
Let's take a look.
Now, I know that Duluth tends to be a little bit more expensive.
Okay,
Um,
let's take a look at that first.
yeah, but you know the highway, the highway that separates Lawrenceville from the arena. Duluth is basically at the other end of the highway, and yeah, you'll see there. So technically, the arena is in Duluth. So I wonder if that's also why people may look for that area for the arena.
Which arena is it?
Um, they just changed the name. I think it used to be called Infinity Arena, but now it's called something Gas. Let me try to search for the new name.
Gotcha.
Now it's called Gas South Arena.
Gotcha. Okay. This is a 404,000 3-bedroom, 3-bath home in Duluth. Pretty nice home. Obviously it needs to be, furniture needs to be updated, but that's, pretty decent backyard, pretty good looking spot. All right, you want to go through this one? Whoa,
Sure.
look at that. Okay, and these are 4 bedrooms. So I'm now looking at 4 bedrooms. So let's go to 4 bedrooms, see what the price would be in Duluth for a 4-bedroom. We've got one here at 560. This is closer to the arena, and we're not going to get photos, but that's pretty nice for 560. And if you're able to put 15 or 20% down, that's what you'd be able to afford.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. Oh, photo showed up. Okay, so older kitchen. No good photos. That looks like the living room there. That's the living room there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of dated. Looks great from the outside, but it's dated. All right, let's take a look at the listings, the comparables. The very first one's making 99,000. And we have 2 in the middle. So this one's going to be definitely better than the other ones. These 2 are going to be fairly close, and then this one's probably going to be pretty shitty in comparison,
Mm-hmm.
right? So let's take a look. Let's hope they all open up. We got that one. See what else we got over here in the 4 bedrooms.
Which one is the one making 99?
The very first one. I'm going to go through it in just a second.
Okay.
Okay. So this one's making 99.
Yeah, it's very out there.
Yeah, that's a nice big, very big room, great couch, great marketing. You know what I mean? It's showing really well. Also, nice photo here with the lights. That definitely helps too. So they're sort of going for the bachelor groups here, I'm assuming. Another living room, it looks like. Or it's just, yep, another living room. Dining
I wonder
room.
if they're marketing to people to have parties in that house.
Probably. Yeah, probably. Like honestly, we bachelorette, bachelor parties, like I would not doubt it if that's the groups that they're going for. Wow, look at that. So this is going to be probably out of the price range of what you're looking at, right? For a home that's this level of size and luxury and all of that. Nice big garage. Yeah. So that's what that would need to look like to make 99,000. Right? Which I don't have any price requirements on this. I'm not even seeing a house that looks like that in this area. Okay, so there's nothing for sale even at that price point, right? So let's not even worry about that. So then this is what another home looks like. Nice big high ceilings. So we can see that's in the past 2 listings. We've seen that now. Sort of a boring furniture, but like pretty good photos. There's nothing super exciting about this, but you know what you're getting, right? They got a big dining area in here, which is nice because they have a big home with 4 bedrooms, another living room that they did nothing with. This is very large room. Few very large rooms. That's what the outside looks like. Backyard looks like. Okay, so this guy's making 60 something. Let's take a look. 68, and then this one's making 66. So they should be fairly close. This one's got 205 reviews and a 4.99 review. That's impressive. That might be the highest I've ever seen. Wow. My girlfriend has like 40 or 60 reviews and she's at 4.98. So we were just looking at that last night.
Where is her property at?
In Grand Bend. Yeah. But yeah, so once again, high ceilings. Okay, so like right off the bat, we know we're gonna need high ceilings in the home that you're gonna get because you're gonna be competing with that. The last 2 both had a fireplace in them. The kitchen and this one is a lot smaller. So I'm gonna assume that this one's doing the prices that it's doing, making the amount that it's making because of the reviews. So this is just an incredible host who has like a review. I know you know this, but like a review is like marketing, right? It's a piece of marketing that helps sell your home. And when you have 205 people saying that the home is awesome, it's going to be easy to price it at the proper price point. And Airbnb is going to push it because everyone is happy and satisfied with it, right? There's now I notice another trend here is we have a room for the dining room. So both of them had like a full out dining room. And then they both had very large bedrooms, and both of them actually had this little something going on with the ceiling.
Vaulted ceilings, yeah.
So, okay, so I feel like this one is very similar to the last one, so we have an idea. Now this one's doing less, so let's figure out why. So it's got 77 reviews. That's a really bad photo. Picture of the gym, high ceilings again in the bedroom. We're looking at the bathroom. Now we're looking at the closet again. I don't know why we haven't seen the kitchen or the living room yet, but we're starting with bedrooms for this one. Still in bedrooms. Now we get to the kitchen. So this listing's backwards. That's probably throwing a lot of people off. No dining room. So you can see their dining table is in the kitchen, right? Where the last 2 didn't have that. So I would mark that down as like a need, right? It's also a very small dining room, and this is supposed to host more than the amount of people I consider on that. So that's going to be a killer as well. And then no high ceilings in here. So two things on this. This listing is not very well done because you have to go through 50 photos of bedrooms to be able to get to the living room in the main area. And it doesn't have the high ceilings in the living room area, but it does have the big bedroom with the high ceilings. So maybe that's why they showed it off first. So anyways, the reason I wanted to do this and go through all this is because we now have a criteria list in our minds of what we need to look for to be able to find a home that's going to meet either this range, right? Because we already know, just quickly looking at there's no homes available that look like this first one.
Yeah.
But odds are we can probably find something that looks like one of these guys, right? So there's not very many homes available. We've already taken a look at this one. I'm gonna assume those ones are not as good just based off of the prices, but let's take a look at one of them just in case. That's 4-bedroom, 2-bath. This home is a 4 by 2.5, and this one is a 4 by 2.5. Okay. So there's no high ceilings in this one. All low. It's got a nice back patio, but I would say that I wouldn't put my money down on this if I had other options, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back.
Now, for example, townhomes like the one that's over there for 406, that's something that you would say no to? And I'm thinking townhomes because since I'm not gonna be there, things like the lawn perhaps is easier.
Where do you see the 406?
Yeah, the picture, well, on the picture on the right, yeah, that one. So I don't know.
465?
Yeah, that one.
4-bedroom, 4 by 4. Love seeing that. Look at, you got the bedroom with the ceilings. That's what we're looking for. Might be even in this, no high ceilings in here,
Right.
but you've got the new kitchen look, and you got a patio back, nice big kitchen. So I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, right? But it's just gonna cause, like, if you didn't have to get a townhouse, then it would, like, if you didn't have to get a townhouse, then I wouldn't, just because you're gonna get noise complaints from you could have one bad group in there, you're gonna get a noise complaint, and the person's always going to be looking and annoyed by every single Airbnb guest coming in and out, right? Because they're sharing a wall.
Yeah.
So and sharing a backyard, it looks like, because this is probably a shared backyard. So, for the price of a lawn person to clean the home or to take care of the lawn is worth it in comparison to the headache you're going to have to deal with the neighbors, right?
Gotcha.
That's even
Gotcha. Makes sense.
perfect. Let's take a look at this one, 569, because I think if your price is around 350, but you could potentially do almost double, around 600,000 should be in the range. This one's definitely going to have the high ceilings that we want. I'm going to assume it is anyways, but it's got a nice big garage, nice piece of lawn. So ceiling goes up there. That's just the style, eh? You got the ceiling that drops up higher. So there is no big living room with high ceilings in this one. New kitchen. No direct living room either. For some reason, they put a pool table right in the middle of their kitchen area.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this doesn't really meet all the requirements either, but it's fairly close. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts right now?
No, it's great insights. It's great insights. Like I'm planning on sending this video to my real estate agent and have him go look for me.
Okay, good to know. I don't know what I'm looking at right now. This is a weird building, so I'm just gonna hop out of it.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
Okay, here we have 455. Anyways, I think you're getting the idea. If you're going to be sending this to your realtor, he has like a general idea of what to be looking for. And obviously, as more homes come onto the market, you can keep looking and keep trying to find something that meets the criteria of what you're looking for a little better.
Yeah.
But this is, one of the areas that we're looking at. Let's do something now. Let's actually just hop, for the sake of time, because what time is it? Okay, so I have about 5 minutes. For the sake of time, 5 to 10 minutes. We could push it a little bit. I got 3 of these calls back to back, so I'm going to be doing this for 3 hours straight, which I love. So let's hop back over to Atlanta, because Atlanta technically has the most potential. Now, as you can see, these homes are doing like $76,000 on average, right? So right of downtown, we're looking at 90,000 on average. So if I open that up, there's going to be some people doing better, some people doing worse. So let's organize that from highest to lowest. You can see there's 2 people up here. You got one, and then there's sort of this range, like a $20,000 range. Then we have a couple at the bottom, right? And that made sense, that whole process that I just went through, right? I found, all I did was I looked for the highest numbers, right? So I can see this is one of the highest numbers, that is 2, but a 5-bedroom might be out of your price range. So I went to the 90,000 because it's a 4-bedroom, and I just went show details, or you can also double click it, and then it pops open this new tab here at the bottom. And then when I'm in here, I organize everything from Z to A, so that we're looking at the best to the worst. And then from there, we're going through everything. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Perfect. I know I've already said that multiple times, but I'm just saying it again, just in case your realtor, anyone watching it, is like, shit, what did you just do? Right? Okay, so let's change this to 700. Would that be, let's just see what happens. Maybe some will pop up.
And those were 3 bedrooms, you said?
Those were 4 bedrooms that I was looking.
4 bedrooms, okay.
We'll change this as well to 4 bedrooms. Now, what I'm actually trying to get, what I'm trying to figure out here. Let's do all just 4 bedrooms. I'm trying to, what I would want to see, I'm going to assume, without going, I'm not going to open up all these and go through them, but I'm going to assume that these 2 are going to be luxury, high-end homes. And I'm going to assume that these 2 are going to be your average type of homes. And these are probably also average, but they're probably managed poorly, right? So I would be curious what these homes look like, what they're doing, and how they're put together. And then I would go and try and find homes that would match those ones, right? Because they're more likely to be in the range that you're looking for. So without, this isn't really helpful for me to go through this, because we have no idea what to look for.
Yeah.
Right. We don't know if this is good or bad. It could be really good, could be really bad, which is why my process works really well, because you go through and you vet all these and you figure out what to look for. And then when you look at something like this, you can very quickly say yes or no. Right. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But there are, in that range, in that 700 range, there are more homes popping up. What I just don't want is, I don't want you to think, oh, I should just, buy something. I can get more, so I should buy something for more just so I can make more. Because what might end up happening at the end of the day is you might end up making, less in all reality, right? Like your expenses are going to increase because your mortgage is going to increase, and the cleaners are probably going to increase, and all these utility bills are going to increase, right? And so everything's going to jump up. And so the amount of revenue that you're making needs to jump up even more so than that, right? So if you're looking at Atlanta and you really want to get a home to the right to the right of the downtown area, this sort of general spot, but you compromise and you get like a not as nice home, and then you're only making the lower end here, you're only making about this amount, right? All your expenses are going to go up by quite a bit, but your revenue didn't go up by that much at all, right? So like it's only going to work out or make sense if you can jump your revenue up significantly as well. Make sense? Yeah. Do you have any questions on this?
No, it makes sense. I just need to receive the documents and start playing around and see if it makes that much sense to look in Atlanta or just stick to closer to the family. Okay.
Is there anything that you were hoping for me to be able to do but haven't been able to do?
No, I think you cover everything. So no, I'm super thankful, man. This makes the searching for a home, giving directions to my agents so much easier.
Very much so. Significantly easier. And then you can feel a lot more confident with your purchase, right? Because you're actually going to be, you're like, even the idea of the high ceilings in the living room, Doesn't sound like a very important thing, but it seems to be an important thing, right? So, and it just makes it a lot easier to find a home and be confident with it. So yeah, I did a lot of talking there. I apologize if I was kind of all over the place or sort of boring.
No.
Sure.
That's great. That's great.
Okay, try to keep my energy up for that, to keep going. But all
Yeah.
right, I'll share this all with you right now, and then I'm gonna upload this to a Google Drive, and I'll share the Google Drive with you. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing now.
Yeah.